Okay, so the topic of today's video is part one, what you don't want to do or say
Or talk about.
or talk about on a first date. Go ahead.
Well, this is part one of three, and these are all, we found that these are all very important. And the number one thing that you really don't want to be talking about on the first date are your exes.
Go ahead.
Whether it's your ex-husband, the ex-boyfriend, the last guy, or a nightmare boyfriend from 6 months ago, any ex, any past relationships, there is a time and a place, if the relationship continues, to talk about those things.
That's right.
But it's not the first date.
No, and I would even say don't even talk about a prior date.
Yeah.
I know that because I made that mistake when I was in my 40s and I was trying to figure it all out. I would talk about prior dates. That's not a desirable position. You want to be there to enjoy yourself. Keep it light on the first date.
Well, I was just getting ready to say, why are you out on a date? And Donna has said this ever since I've known her. There's only two reasons to go out on a first date. One, have fun.
Have fun. Have fun, divas. Just have a good time.
Yeah, and two, see if you want to go out on a second date with this person.
That's right.
And both of those fit perfectly with what we're talking about.
All right, so what not to talk about on the first date? Do you have any horror stories about
Well,
people saying?
no, what I was going to ask, what I was going to bring up to the divas, how would you feel if you go out with a guy and he starts just dumping on his ex-wife?
Ooh.
How would you feel if you go out on a date and the guy starts talking about his last two girlfriends, his last girlfriend? But, I mean, 6 months ago, I was dating this psycho fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Would you really, really, really want to go out on another date with this guy?
No, because I like when we talk about me on dates. I don't want to be talking about your exes or your messes or whatever your disgruntled situations.
Yeah.
We want to keep it in the present.
Well, and you want to keep it in the present because one of the reasons that you're out on the date is to get to know somebody you don't know.
Right. It's pretty simple.
It really is.
Yeah.
So you want to have fun, and you do that by getting to know somebody that you don't know.
That's right. Really easy. Believe me, I've had a lot of escapades in my dating career. I call it a dating career. It's really, I don't know if I should call it a dating career, but links below if you want to grab the book. But it was so much fun because I learned a lot about what not to do.
Yeah. And I coined this phrase about Donna some time ago. I said, you've got a doctorate in dating. This woman she studied dating. She studied the art of dating. She took courses. She read all the books. This woman took a course on how to flirt.
Yes.
And then after she took the course, she went around New York City where she lived with a camera that had no film in it. Now, this is back before digitals. And would ask people, ask men, would you take a picture of me? And she was doing that to practice flirting.
Okay, so let's get back to the topic at hand.
The topic at hand.
Don't talk about past scenarios. If you bring up anything in the past, it should be lighthearted and enjoyable.
Yeah.
It never should be baggage. It's baggage if you are feeling bad about something that took place. And the good thing about that, if you do bring that up, then I hope that you are now being aware that you need help. Maybe you need therapy. Maybe you want to go to a medium. Maybe you want to go to somebody for some closure on what you're going through. This is super important.
Yeah.
Super important because now you realize you have something that you don't want to bring into your next relationship, quite frankly.
Well, you've got something that is nagging at you, and she said it, it's baggage. What is baggage? Well, when you stop and think, when you go on a trip, what is baggage? Well, it's things that you have to carry with you.
Yeah.
You got your suitcase, you got your backpack, and the more you have, the harder it is to travel when you're having to lug all of those things through an airport.
Right.
And the more baggage you have, the harder it is to navigate through a relationship.
Right. So did anybody ever bring up some past story that you can recall off the top of your head about that you didn't want that didn't feel good, and you knew you were not going to go out with them again?
Oh,
You have a
yeah.
memory of
Oh,
anything?
yeah, yeah. I went out with this woman, and you could tell that she was more than angry at her ex-husband.
Oops.
They had gotten the divorce had been finalized about 6 months before, and the whole course of, I was wanting to go out and have a nice dinner and get to know her.
Right.
I ended up getting to find out all about him.
And this is a really good point, and I'm going to make this correlation for you divas. If we go to a spa to get a massage or to go get our nails done, we are looking forward to a nice, relaxing, spa type atmosphere. And if the person working on you is complaining about their life, it totally ruins the experience, and we will probably never go back to them. So think about that when you're out dating. If you have baggage, take care of it. Take care of it before you go out, and be aware, because it starts with awareness. And that was a great point. So if you like these videos, hit us a like, smash the bell button, do a subscribe, all of that.
That really does. Yeah, it really does. It helps the channel out a lot. And it helps us to be able to continue getting our message out. Our heart is to help you guys in your quest to find someone to, well, if you want to spend the rest of your life with them, primarily if you're looking for a long-term relationship. Donna has literally written the book. There's a link below. And one of the things that, again, we're bringing on up, one of the things you do not want to talk about on a first date is somebody else. You want to talk about, you want to ask them questions and find out about them. And you also want them to find out a little about you. Why?
Right.
Because it's a two-way street.
Right.
If they really don't want to go out with you again, you really don't want to waste your time going out with them again.
Yeah.
And so go ahead.
Yeah, so good stuff. This is part 1 of part 3, so we're going to go off to the next video, give you the second thing you don't want to talk about on a first date.
And the reason we're all talking about this, divas, is because it
Doesn't have to be that hard.